Hello, friends, and welcome. Welcome to another video where I review vintage fountain pens. Today, I have for you a quite rare and interesting fountain pen made in America. We are talking about this Morton fountain pen. I will give it a zoom. You can see on the clip Morton, and it has also a logo with an interesting M. On the barrel we have no imprints, but on the lever, because this is a lever filler, we have the same logo and name Morton. So guys, I have to be honest with you. I didn't find much information about this Morton firm in America. But judging by its form, I think it is a copy of the famous Parker Duofold. And why do I say that? First of all, this coral color was one of the variants that Parker was available, and quite a lovely color. It was available also in yellow, the so-called mandarin yellow. And I have prepared for you some other fountain pens from the same period. I believe this is a product of the late 1920s and 1930s. And why do I say that? Because in that period, the lever filler was the popular filling mechanism. And of course, judging by the period of time where this Parker Duofold copy-like appeared. And I have for you some more tricks from my collection. We will start with a competitor of the Parker. This is a Shepherd fountain pen. It's a flat top, as you can see. The model is junior, it's quite a small fountain pen. It has this white dot, that means it is a qualitative product from Shepherd that had the lifetime warranty and is made out of this beautiful celluloid. So you can see the similarities between the two models. They are both lever fillers. Of course, this is the Shepherd is a smaller fountain pen. And speaking about smaller fountain pens, this is an Ara 3 from Aurora, Italian model from the 1920s, also a lever filler. And I have for you an interesting copy of the Parker Duofold, but you can see the flat cap. Unfortunately, I believe this isn't the right ending for this model, because I think it had also a flat ending, but it has a different filling mechanism, and you can see this is a bottom filler. This is an interesting firm, quite a small firm from Italy, and this is the model, the Scotland pen. And interesting about these models, and I will show you guys, is this nib. I have to show you this nib. Quite an interesting nib. If we look closely on it, we can see made in England, and this is a quite story behind the fact that we have this interesting imprint. Although it says made in England, trust me guys, this was made in Italy, but back in the 1930s, the early 1930s, all the products that had English sounding names were considered of high quality. And this ended in the late 1930s when the fascist regime of Benito Mussolini gave a new law that stated that all the firms in Italy, they had to have Latin sounding names. So they changed the name. But for a short period of time in the 1930s, we have this Scotland pen self-filling. of course, no made in Italy. And this resembles quite well with our fountain pen from Morton. You can see almost the same dimensions, but bear in mind this is a button filler and this is a lever filler. So I will leave aside the other fountain pens. It is a good time now to leave the dimensions of our fountain pens or of the Morton fountain pen on the screen. And after that, I think I will do a writing sample. But before I do that, I must share with you a little story. Because when I bought this fountain pen, I said to myself that this brand name Morton, it seems quite familiar. And I thought that this had also a Morton nib. Unfortunately, you can see the body and screws, and we will see the nib. The nib is a generic nib from America. We have a warranted, let me show you in the light, a warranted 14 karat number 8 size nib. I was quite disappointed, guys, because I thought that it would have an imprint like we have on the fountain pen, and I thought it was a Morton gold nib. And why do I say that about the Morton gold nib? You know, guys, that I am a quite passionate collector of the German firm Kaweco from Heidelberg, Germany. And when I did the history lesson about their famous model Kaweco Sport or their Dia line, I also encountered the name Morton. And let me tell you in what context. So, this Kaweco firm from Heidelberg, Germany, they started to import Morton nibs and fountain pens from New York around 1899. In 1913, they managed to buy the Morton factory, all the lines of production, and the rights to produce under the Morton trademark. In 1914, they managed to bring in Europe the engineers and production machines, and they started to produce gold nibs with the know-how of the Americans. But soon, the First World War started, and the Americans had to return home to New York. The German workers, which they are skilled workers, they managed to learn all they had to learn from the Americans, and the quality of the gold nibs produced in Heidelberg was of high standard. So, guys, I thought that it is a connection between the Morton that supplied some know-how and line of production to the Germans of Heidelberg in the years before the start of the First World War, and this company Morton. But it appears that it is simply a coincidence by name. And as you see, the Morton from this company, which I believe it was located in New York or maybe in Chicago, America. But I saw, doing my research on the fountain pen network, I saw other collectors that possessed this Morton fountain pen, and they all said that this particular model is equipped with this warranted 14 karat number 8 nib. So they didn't have their own brand of gold nibs Morton. And this clue makes me to believe that this is a separate American producer with the name of Morton. Maybe we will find out more details about this company in time, and I will share them with you. Of course, unfortunately, the lever filler is stuck, and I tried to pull it off, but it is clear that the inner sac needs to be replaced. So, guys, when you receive um, lever filler like this, and you try to pull the lever out and it is stuck, don't apply pressure on it, just leave it as it is, because this is a sign that you need to replace the inner sac. And if you don't know how to replace the inner sac, just find a professional for you to help. Believe me, it isn't expensive. Providing their own sacs, the restorers would charge you 10 or maximum $20 for this repair. Of course, you can do it yourself, but I recommend that you do it on much more, let's say, not valuable, but much more common fountain pens, because it's relatively simple. You just use a hair dryer and gently hit this region. You unscrew this part from the main body part, and you will see inside a inner sac. Sometimes the sac is enough to be replaced, but sometimes this lever, which has an inner system, needs to be replaced because in contact with ink it can develop rust and other chemical reactions, so maybe it isn't in such a good shape, and you need to replace also the inner mechanism. It is not complicated, but if you don't know what are you doing and you don't have patience like me, you could ruin this beautiful material, which in my opinion it's a celluloid. So guys, this was my review of this wonderful fountain pen. Although it is considered a low entry copy of the Parker Duofold, I still think it's a beautiful pen. Although I can't fill it with ink, I will just dip it in ink, and for the writing sample, I choose this Faber-Castell pink erasable ink. I will just dip the fountain pen in ink, and I will try to write with it. This is the first time that I'm testing this nib, so I hope it will be okay. And I hope this ebonite simple feed holds enough ink to do my writing sample. Of course, I will leave it open in case I need to dip it more. So this fountain pen clearly posts. Posted, you can see it's quite a large fountain pen, so I prefer to use it uncapped. Okay, guys, let me change the angle of the camera because I want you to see the writing sample. Okay, maybe I need a little zoom here. Okay, let me show you how it writes. So I have here a Morton. This is a Morton fountain pen made in U.S.A., United States of America, and I believe that it is a product that was produced between 1928 and I think 1938. So this is my estimate of the production date. It is like copy of the famous Parker Duofold. It has a 14 karat generic warranted nib. I think that I think we have a medium nib, M for medium. Okay, let me see how yes, you can see, and not It seems to have a line variation. Let me check it out. Yes, definitely. The tines, they move. Okay, let me call it a semi flexible nib. Okay, guys. Okay, let me test it here. It seems like a juicy nib, and you can see it is. Let me do the pressure test, which I did here, but we will do it like this with pressure. Definitely a slight line variation we can see. Let me see now how it has a little skip, but this is due to the fact that I think I need to use a little bit more ink. Let me see now. Yes, definitely an improvement. A review. Okay. Okay. So quite a smooth writer. I was expecting for these little tines to be off. And let me try to show you, if I can, of course. Okay, I hope you can see. I thought it had a problem with the tines. You can see that one is slightly above the other, but it doesn't affect this nib. And another thing, look how this nib is made. So it has those little bulbs, like a round bulb. You can see it. Sorry, let me. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. My camera has a little bit of limits. Let me show you, and I will tell you about the quick brown fox. Okay, I'm sorry, I have difficulties with the focus. Okay, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. You can see, guys, this is a quite nice writer. Let me show it to you. This is it at another angle. I hope you can see. Quite a nice nib. The warranted nibs, although they are considered generic nibs, you find them especially when the original nibs were replaced due to the fact that they suffered some damage. The worst damage you can see it's simply dropping it, and the nib is kaput, is gone. So I must tell you that the warranted nibs have surprising quality, and they are quite good nibs. Guys, this was my review of a mysterious fountain pen made in America. And guys, this was considered back then a low entry model, and I believe it was priced accordingly to the quality level. Let me tell you, the Americans were advanced in the fountain pen industry, at least at the beginning of the 20th century. They were on top of the things, and they borrowed their know-how even to the German European producers. So quite a nice fountain pen. I hope you've enjoyed its review. I thank you for your time, and wherever you are, I wish you to have a nice day. I hope you've enjoyed this review of this vintage beauty. If you've enjoyed this review, please subscribe to my channel to support my activity. You will see on my channel both vintage and new fountain pens reviewed, and I hope you will accompany me to my journey of discovering fountain pens. This is my passion, and I like to share it with you. I will see you again at the next episode. Till then, bye bye.